What's up, people? It's your man, Black Cobra, back once again with the Wheel Life Show. So, yes, after this past weekend, I have a whole lot to talk about. I have a lot of things to share about the Wheel Life Rally and how much fun we had. It was amazing. Even though it was short notice, I only had a couple weeks to put it together, but it's still, in that short bit of time, it exceeded my expectations. And I may get a chance to talk about that a little today. If not, I will do some more later. Look forward to some more Instagram posts and some more some YouTube footage when I can get it together. I think over the next week I'll be able to put a lot of it together. But today we're gonna talk to Kayden Steele, the CEO and co-founder of Hextech Customs. You guys know the pedals online and you're familiar with their work. But now you're going to be familiar with their colossal work. They're talking about the Orion, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. But without further ado, let me bring in my man, Kayden Steele. What's up, Kayden? How you doing, buddy?
Hey. Nice.
It's good to see you, man. Good to see you.
You as well. Excited to be here for sure.
Yeah, man. This is one of those interviews I was excited to do. Your product has me thrilled and excited. I'm like, instantly, I want one like now. So,
Yeah, they're pretty sick.
So getting some facts, it's important. So that's what we're going to do today. But we're going to start with you, buddy. How did you get into riding EUCs?
Oh, I think it was 89 or 90 when I was first introduced to Segway.
Wow.
And I think they started their launch of their Segways into our local malls here in Canada. And I started riding, and that's the first self-balancing wheels. So I got into that. Then it just kind of snowballed after that, and I got into the one wheel. That was super awesome. And then I started riding some other friends' EUCs, and then got a Sherman, and yeah, the rest is history.
Yeah. Once you
Go
get
big
a
or go
Sherman,
home, right?
once you get a Sherman, it's a wrap.
Yeah, you can't go down.
Then you're going fast and you're like, oh, going fast and it's smooth and like I'm not worried. Oh man, it's a problem.
Yeah. It's funny because other people are going, listen, I've only got like, 10, 15% left. I'm like, I think I'm at about 98% still. I'm good.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. All right. So let's say what's up to some of the people we got in the chat here. I just saw Marty jump in. What's up, Marty? He said, wasn't the Segway released in 2000? There goes Marty.
Yeah. Yeah, they started putting them in shopping malls about like 99, and then they went to the public in 2000. That's when they started their sales.
There you go. There you go. So Marty's in the house. We got EUC Vibes in the house. What's up, Vibes? Good to see you, buddy. You guys, this is the wheel. This is the wheel I've always dreamed of or dreamt of. Yeah, you guys remember, I'll say it again. I got his V12. EUC Vibes loaned me his V12 here. I got a little video clip of that. I let some people ride it at the rally. I was in between. I rode, I don't think you can even see it, but yeah, it is. I rode my V11 in the rally and I won like several races. And then I was going to ride the V12 because it's a little heavier and I was close to riding it, but it's something about being up higher. I was able to go through the dirt really well and do really well in the races. So, but Vibes, thanks for loaning it to me, and several people got to ride it and give their opinions, including Sensei Vegan and a couple other guys. So stay tuned for that clip. But we got Leo here, my man. He always jumps in. Thomas Siegel. We did have Zoom Wheels Brian, but I think he fell asleep because he put in a comment a long time ago. And he said he thinks he'll still be up, but he ain't up. We got Michael. Michael Ballou is in here. Spartacus, what's up? E. Simon, my man from down under. He always pops in. Good to see you. Hate Mail is here. Vinny Chong is here. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys all for jumping in. So Segway, then you rolled on over into the one wheel. I don't know if Kayden, I don't know if you got to see the clip that I posted of the one reel race. Did you get to see that?
I did, yeah.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
yeah, that was such a good. There were so many good races like that, and
Yeah.
I loved it. I was amazed at the competition and the people that were there. All great personalities and great energy. We really had a really good time. And I want that event to like double and triple over the next couple years. This year again, it was an issue because COVID ravaged the track as far as what they could do. So this year they had to make up for it with several events. So he couldn't squeeze me in. And when he finally let me know, I didn't only had a couple weeks to put it together, but we still made it happen. We're aiming again for September next year. So anybody that was again saw the videos and clips and is like, I want to make that, but it's too short notice. Plan for September of next year because that's when we're gonna do it. So I don't care
I
where you
want to
are
get
in the
down and
world.
ride with Marty. I want to get down and ride with Marty. He's got some sweet rides, that guy.
He does. That's where I was gonna go next week. He's got his ride set up for next week. And Marty, I'm still
Yeah.
brokenhearted. Matter of fact, I put in for the vacation time way the beginning of the year, and I still have it. So I'm off next week anyway. So I'll be riding around here, but I can't, because I broke my shoulder so bad. I was like, I cannot travel out there and ride for hours and hours for days. I just can't. I'm not up to that yet. So it broke my heart because last year this time I pledged that I was going to ride with Marty because
Yeah.
the stuff he takes him through out there is grueling, and it's some great views. So maybe next year. So maybe next year me and you will be down there, Kayden. Maybe we'll.
I think that's going to be the first place I head down with the Orion. I think when we do launch. Yeah.
You hear that, Marty? You might be the first spot he goes with the Orion. I like that. I like that. EUC Vibes, he said, of course, anytime. I'm glad you're having a blast with the V12. Your big guy video was awesome. I keep watching it. Like, what's that? The Black Cobra on my wheel. Mind blown. Yeah, man. I'm happy, man. He said, do you know yet if there will be a fan in the Orion or a heat sink? So first question.
Oh yeah. That's
Which
all something we're working on. Is cooling and how the shell is going to be. Obviously, what you see now is not the finished product. We literally are just working on some coating, control board, and the shell.
okay. Okay. So we're gonna launch into some questions, but before we do that, I kind of want to show people to make sure that they see what we're talking about. So I am going to pull up this here, see if we can get this to come up. Hit the playthrough. See if we can get it to play for us. At any rate, you guys can see what the Orion looks like, whether I get it to play or not. And oh, hold on. There we go. Oh wait, let me mute that. I forgot. I might get a copyright strike. I don't know what music that is. This is on YouTube. I forgot. Oops. At any rate, you guys see that giant, was it 30-inch wheel, right?
30 total, yeah. I think the one that's on there, I think is a 26 by, yeah, 26 to 30.
That's a
But yeah, we can get it. Yeah, once you blow it up, I think it's a total of 30 inches.
craziness. Now, I
Yeah.
don't know how tall this guy riding it is. How tall is he? Do you
Uh,
know?
yeah, he's like yours. I think he's 5'8", 5'9".
Okay. That's what I
So I mean,
thought. I
he's
said, I think
pretty
he's a little,
average size.
I think he's a little shorter than me, but I was like, I said, but it's hard to tell because I'm trying to, gauge how big the wheel is by looking at him on the wheel, and I'm like, he looks like he's shorter than me, so maybe the wheel is.
Yeah, you know what? I'll post a picture today. I thought I did a side by side. We have another wheel side by side and a head-on view of it, and I'll
Yep.
post that later on today after I get off with you. But you
Yeah,
can see the size difference. Just the rim alone is the size of like a Sherman, like total body.
that's crazy, and I definitely want to see that because that's one of the things that I was like blown away. Like you guys can see here, look at the just look at the size of that tire. It's
Yeah.
nuts, nuts. Okay,
Yeah, and I
so
think that one Yar put a big rigid light on it
I
just for
see,
light. Yeah.
and it's got the Hextech pedals on there.
Yep.
So let me get to the. I think I saw some questions already. Marty was already saying some stuff. Let's see.
Oh, Marty.
Use a huge chunk of metal like King Song uses on some wheels. I hate fans, he says. Uh,
Yeah, a big heat sink would be ideal, right?
yeah, it would be ideal because a lot of people complain about the fans, and because that's going to be such a big motor and big everything, it may take a lot to cool it. So, I mean,
Now, you know what? And a lot of people don't realize, like, you can get forced air intake too
mhm.
without using a fan. And a lot of people don't realize that. You can be doing, 30, 40 kilometers an hour and still have a forced air intake cooling that system.
Yeah. Well, that's something that we really want to look at. We're hoping that you guys are able to do when it comes to this because I know that I'm excited. Like I mentioned to you, it has definitely got me thinking, wow, I can't wait. Any wheel you can ride through the sand like that is crazy. So,
And that's actually some pretty deep sand. Yeah, that's not just hard packed beach sand either.
yeah. Well, here, Michael says 30 inches. Is that a 26 by 4 bike tire?
Yeah, fat boy.
There you go. That's exactly what it is. All right.
Now we custom did the rim as well, so it's not just a regular fat boy rim. We've doubled up on the spokes as well, so it's pretty reinforced. It's pretty rigid.
Okay. Well, Marty's at, let's see. So he said that thing is ginormous, gyronormous. Mr. Brewer is asking why such a giant wheel.
Ah, why not?
Exactly.
You know what? I'm not sure why Yar had chosen that, but that was the biggest thing for me was that's the next thing. I mean, everybody's doing 18, 20, 16, go big or go home. There isn't a wheel out there that, you can legitimately stud the tires and just get into every condition imaginable. And you can lower the pressure as well and, hit the snow trails, right?
That's wild. Okay, so Marty's asking a question here. He says, I realize that this is a prototype, but it does seem awkward to ride. Please comment.
It's only because we don't have pads on it, Marty. Right now, we're literally just, for what you see in the video, I think those are actually duct taped pads, like homemade, foam with duct taped on there. So there's no way you could, force any kind of uphill ride at that point. We are working on custom pads right now.
Well, one of the things I noticed when I was looking at it, and everybody I show says the same thing. They said, that's a huge wheel. And they're like, uh, what is that piping? That they said
That's
that is not
the
PVC.
plumbing piping. Yeah, it's just regular
I
PVC piping.
I know, and I laughed because I said, yeah, it's PVC, but I said it's a prototype. They're working on it. They're like, dude, there's no way. I'm like, no, there's not. It's not
So
PVC.
the reason for the PVC piping, just that regular piping, is literally just to pick it up. There's no rhyme or reason for it other than just to move it around and even just grab onto it because there are no handles. But the original, like the frame and stuff,
Yep.
that's all welded aluminum.
Yeah, and that's what I figured. That's why when I saw um that video, I laughed because the person who said it to me is not an EUC rider, and I'm like, obviously it's a design thing. They're trying to get. They just put that on there to ride the thing right now.
Just to ride it. Yeah, just to ride it.
So Spartacus says,
The,
"How's the turning?" Well, like you
like any
said,
other wheel, it's throw your hips into it.
um, so let's see. I'm not even vibes. You're a comedian. I ain't even putting that up there.
No, bring it on. Bring it on.
No, he's talking about Marty because Marty said he hates fans, and Vibes say, "Oh, so he hates us because we're Marty's fans."
Oh,
I second that. Heat sink metal makes me prefer the V12 over the RS. Yeah, the RS does have a loud fan. Let's see.
yeah. You know what? If we can do the heat sink properly, and do a forced air intake somehow, that's what I would focus on
Well,
myself.
Marty said he added a forced air intake to his Monster Pro, and it keeps it cool, and the fan doesn't even come on.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah,
Forced air. I mean, it's the way to go, right? And it's super easy to do. As long as the reverse engineering of the frame is done properly, and then the injection mold or the mold is done properly, you'd have no problems whatsoever, and
So is
still have the waterproofness.
so is that just a like a vent system for the air to come in the front and go out the back? Is that what you guys are talking about?
Yeah. So in the Sherman, there you'll see there's a vent in the front, vent in the back, right? Now, when you do like a mold, you can have those vents all the way down the front. You don't have to have just one. You could do
Gotcha.
multiple vents, and then it's circulating through, and have different channels where if water goes in there, it may hit one vent, but not necessarily go up into the board. You could have multiple vents go in there and
Gotcha.
have no water issues whatsoever.
Understood. Understood. I'm glad that you understand that because we think about those kinds of things after the fact.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
And that's what we're working on. Like all of that stuff. I mean, what you see right now obviously is not the finished product. And that's why, on Kickstarter, I gave myself, I think, a year and a half to get all of that stuff figured out and done and sorted out before we started selling to the public.
And that's a perfect segue. What happened to the Kickstarter that you had up a little while ago? Because in my last show last week, I was talking about it and directing people to it. And one of the people that was on the show went to it while he was watching. And he said, "Hey, did you know that their Kickstarter was taken down?"
Yeah, so I canceled Kickstarter. A few people had approached me, one being a lawyer in patents as well, and said, if we take the Kickstarter down, we may actually do better. One, we just didn't have the $150,000 to put into marketing for, a really great Kickstarter. And most Kickstarters that are fully funded, I mean, you look at them and they're $100,000, marketing involved in that. It's not
Right.
what people think. You just go on and you're going to get free money. It doesn't work that way. And so we had several people. I've had several people approach me, wanting to get involved as a private investor, and so
Yeah.
that's something that we're working on right now.
Okay. Okay. Um, so
And that way we could actually get it to the public faster
yeah.
than if we did it through Kickstarter.
Yeah, because Kickstarter, you have to wait to raise the funds, and I mean, that process is skipped if you can get people to directly fund it. So that's a great idea.
Yeah,
And I mean, just looking at the wheel alone, I was like, oh, I want to get involved. I was like, oh wait, I don't got no money. Okay.
yeah,
I wish I
yeah.
had the
We
money to fund it. I'd fund the project myself.
Yeah, we've had a few companies actually approach us as well, wanting to take over the project, which has been great. Um, but we want to stay involved, and
Yeah,
that's something that,
yeah.
I don't want to just say, yeah, okay, you know what, pay us X amount of dollars and go ahead and ship it off to China and start building them. No,
No,
that's
because
not going to happen that way.
that's our biggest problem right now is the issues that we have when there's something that we don't like. It's hard for us to get them to change it. Being over
Yeah,
in China, they do what they want, and I mean, there's really not a lot of direct. Although I have to give them credit over the last year and a half, they have
They've
made
listened.
great changes because they have been listening. Whereas
Yep.
prior to that, there was zero communication and zero listening on their part. They have gotten better in listening to the consumer. However, I feel like if we had something that was closer to us, easier for us to access, then it, I mean, and obviously I'm selfish. I'd like a US based company, but knowing that you guys are, and just so in case you guys don't know, Kayden's in Canada, and the I guess parts of the rest of the
Yardimer?
group are in Europe.
Yeah.
So it's a Europe and Canada based company. So it's still not here in the US, but it's somewhere, in my opinion, closer and better for us to reach out to and better for us to communicate with. And I just like the idea of it not all being in one central place, because it doesn't allow Canada to have the, I mean, Canada, China to have the monopoly on building these.
Yeah.
And that's what bothers me the most, especially when the technology that started all this came from, over here, not over there. So to jump
Yeah,
into
and
a
that's
couple, go ahead, Caden.
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, to jump into a couple more questions here. The downside of heat sinks is weight, though. Got to keep in mind that this is gonna weigh a lot already.
Yep. True story, but it also depends on what material you're using for heatsink.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Um, Not if you use aerospace materials. There you go. Somebody else already
There
said
you
it.
go.
Yep. EUC girl. I don't know if I've seen you on the show before, so welcome.
Hey, hey.
um, and so let's see. Oh, he's saying the Orion will be run on obtanium for range and made of adamantium for durability.
Exactly. Exactly.
That would be lovely. I hear the theme from X-Men playing in the background already.
That's right. And no fancy LEDs. Sorry, guys.
No LED. Yeah. I know.
No LED lighting. No
Yeah.
custom sound system. Sorry.
Yeah. I love my LEDs, and I love my speaker, but I get it. I get it. You're offering a lot there with the wheel and stuff as it is, so I'm good. I'm good. Um, the EUC girl, my what was that? My daughter saw your stunt video and now she wants an EUC awesome riding.
Oh my God,
That's
eh?
cool. Yeah, there's not many women that ride, so it's good.
No.
It's good to see you, because guys, we know we'd love to bring our spouses into this, our girlfriends into this, just so they understand what we're doing and don't stop us. But yeah, but also so we can enjoy it with them. So it's good to see when some are doing it. So Meng says, I'm psyched for the Orion purely for that fact. It's the first non-Chinese to be
Yeah.
mass produced. Exactly.
Now, when we say mass produced, there's not going to be many of the first gen. It'll be a very limited run for the first gen. But I mean, we're already working on other stuff for, upgrades, updates, and
Yep.
second gen. So yeah, it's going to be insane. It's going to be a great ride.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm already. I need it. I need
Oh, I know.
it. EC Vibe said, I'm so excited for this wheel. At the same time, I'm going broke after the S20 and potentially the Abrams. Hey, the Orion accept payment plans, deposits. Coming soon.
Yeah,
Soon.
we totally accept payment plans. The first payment will probably be around the 6,300 range Canadian. So yeah, we'll start there and go up from that.
Okay. So let me put this back up. Thanks a lot, EUC Vibes. I appreciate the super chat, brother. Thank you. So yeah, I was just looking at that. Somebody asked, what's the price range gonna be?
Probably in around the 6,000 Canadian, give or
And
take.
what's that US?
I don't know, like $5. Who knows? Your exchange rate's horrible.
He said $5. You are
Exchange rate is horrible.
You're such a comedian.
You know what? I think it broke the 5,000 American mark, roughly.
Okay.
Think, yeah.
Whew,
So it's
that
going to be up
hurts.
there, but it does. But keep in mind, you're not getting something made in China, and you're not going to have to wait 8 months for it to be, shipped to you after you
Right.
pay for it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like you said, it's not going to be for everyone, and the first wheels are going to be limited run anyway. So,
Yeah,
we'll be looking forward to probably the second run where maybe you can work some things out and bring the price down a little bit. Hopefully, offer us something. But yeah, he's looking at. Oh, he already did the conversion. 4,500
yeah,
US, I guess, between four thousand five
yeah.
hundred and 5,000 somewhere
It.
in
I
there.
think. I think I worked it out. It would probably be roughly 5,300 US, give or
Wow.
take.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and again, I mean, that would completely allow us to really do a lot better for warranty
Right.
issues. You're not going to wait months on end for a warranty issue if there is a warranty issue, to be
Right.
honest with you.
Got it.
And having direct contact with each product, we're going to be able to quality control that really well.
Okay. Okay. I like the fact that you got a handle on it. Oh,
Yeah.
my man, Splice. What's up? Ain't see you in a minute, man. Guys, that's Splice, the maker of the Splice Guard. Hang on a sec. I gotta pop one up. The Splice Guard, if you don't know, the roll cage that you can put on any wheel. Um, he's a good buddy. Hey, Splice, I was hoping you would make it out to the rally, man. Next time, next time. So here we go. Here's another question. How about the displays, BMS, and safety features? Leo's asking.
Uh, okay. So again, the display BMS are going to be custom. The display is going to be probably a standard LED or LCD screen, um, not touch. Someone actually reached out to me the other day and asked me if I was going to do an app as well. Definitely something I'm looking into for sure.
Mm-hmm.
An app control, BMS, and what was the other one? BMS.
And the safety features.
In the works, yeah, and the safety features, working on coding. I personally am leaning more towards not having a cutout feature, to be honest with you. I've had enough people injured in my circle, badly injured because of cutoffs, when it could be as simple as a coding
Tilt back.
change. Yeah, tilt back, even just limiting the speed
Mm-hmm.
and having the option for um, different modes
Mm-hmm.
within the system. So you can change that to, say, a race mode, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to give too much away there, but yeah.
All right. We won't drag too much out of you. Appreciate that.
No,
you
no worries.
you got a little bit, guys.
But
You got a little
yeah,
bit if you were
yeah,
listening.
the biggest thing was that cutoff for me, and why these manufacturers are putting a cutoff in it when it's easily coded out of that and just not giving that drop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Just
well,
tilt it back, you guys.
yeah, well, for a guy with a permanently damaged shoulder, I'll tell you, I wish the wheel wouldn't cut out. Although
Yeah,
mine was a failure, complete motherboard
yeah,
failure. So, but
but yeah,
it's definitely something that I hope that people continue to look at, because I know the speed demons out there who want the fastest possible that you can squeak and squeeze out of the wheel. They don't care. They want that speed, and
yeah,
I'm more of the mindset that I'd rather be safe and feel that, okay, when we get to a point where something's going wrong, the wheel's gonna pull me back. It's gonna
yeah,
limit my speed. It's gonna slow down. It's gonna do something other than cut off, because
yeah,
bouncing off the pavement is not fun. So, uh,
yeah.
yeah.
And someone reached out to me and mentioned this. About the speed of the wheel. 70 to 85K or 70 to 80K, that's more than enough for a wheel. It really is. I mean, I average, 50 to 60K when I do ride, and that's more than enough for me anywhere I need to go in the city. Um, just looking at our wheel, you know that speed is not our end game. It's just not. We wanted to really focus on, you know, an everywhere, all situation,
Hmm.
all terrain, any condition kind of wheel. That's what we want. We want
Gotcha.
people to be able to use this, run outside at 20 below and ride to the store, on their studded wheel.
You did you guys hear that studded wheel? You could put studs on the wheel. Can you guys imagine your EUC with studs in the wheel?
Well, that's how we do it in Canada, right? So,
I gotcha. I gotcha. So Marty said, he said just add a 5,000 lumen headlight for riding in the mountains at night.
exactly. Exactly.
All right, he's on board, Marty. He's on board. Okay, so EUC Vibe said, okay, no LED, but please put a Bluetooth speaker in there. It's easy, or at least somewhere to perfectly fit a good speaker. I need music while I monster truck this EUC around town. He's already said there's not gonna be, buddy.
Hold on a second.
He's gonna get his speaker. Watch.
I don't know what you guys ride with, but I know what I'd like to ride with. So listen,
Yeah,
you know what? If we can just set this on the top in some sort of grooved
yeah,
area, that's all we need, guys. Come
yeah.
on.
I have and I think I left it upstairs. I ride with the oh my god, not the Bose. Oh, I can't even think of the name of it right now, but it's and it
JBL?
yes, the JBL that links, so you can link it. I have the Charge 4, and
Yeah.
that's a beast. It's big as that, and the same thing. I was like, I'll just sit it right in this groove here where my the bars on my
Yep.
Sherman. I'll just sit it right here, and I'm like,
Yeah.
but honestly, I put clips. I put carabiner clips on it, and I
Yep.
clipped it to my ride vest. And I was like, hey, one time I clipped it to the back, other time I clipped it to the front, and it just dangled off me and blasted. Excuse me. So I know I'm with EUC Vibes. I always wanted to have LEDs and speakers on the wheels. But like I said, when a wheel gives you so much like this with such a huge wheel, being outside of anything we have ever seen before, and the fact that you can, with the studded tires and hopefully with the heat sink and possibly the forced air pass through, whatever, if we can do all that, fine. I'll put my own LEDs on it on the outside, like I'm about to do to my Sherman and how I did my V11 before. So it's understandable. Um, but I get what he's saying. He would like to have it. We want it all.
I'll buy a speaker and I'll just duct tape it to the top for them. No problem.
All right. So Adam is asking, how much power is the motor?
Motor. I think we had this. I had this the other day. Somewhere between 4,000 and 7,000 max watts.
Somewhere between 4,000 and 7,000 watts. Now I know we're gonna get the question. So why
Yep.
why is there a variable?
We are looking at a new modular battery pack system for our wheels.
You heard that, guys. A modular battery pack system. What? Finally.
So, it's kind of funny because for me personally, I want to travel with my wheel.
Yeah.
I want to be able to ship it on a plane, and you
Hmm.
can't do that with batteries. So with a modular battery pack system, just pop out the battery. Um, I won't go into too much detail with the modular pack system. Uh, yeah, but having that battery
Hmm.
system in another country or another city or province, depending where you are, state, if you're flying, then
Hmm.
that battery pack's going to be there waiting for you wherever you're going. Riding, weight is a huge thing.
Yep.
I know Marty, I'm a long range rider. I mean, I can do 100K on my Sherman like that in a day. Um, and having that big battery is great, but what about the times I want to do a race and I just need enough battery to get me through a race? I can just clip on that battery. I have less weight and I have the same amount of power and battery pack just to get me through that race. Yep.
Making me get even more excited. That
Yep.
sounds like a magic idea because the other thing that we don't talk about when it comes to these wheels, and the reason why so many of us, especially like Marty and V, have so many wheels is because there is no one wheel that does everything that you want it to do. So
Yep.
in putting a modular battery pack system in it, you just gave us two different of the wheels that we may want. Like the V11 that I have here, I would never race this on the street because it just doesn't have the top speed. But I wouldn't ride the Sherman in the races that we were just doing because we had dirt and off road and stuff, and it was kind of tough. Even though the guy who took the grand championship, Jeremy, props out to you, brother. He rode his Sherman, but it's tough to ride the Sherman in those kind of conditions. So having a different wheel makes a difference. So if my wheel's too heavy for the situation and I can take out the battery pack and put in a
Yep.
lighter one and then race and have a different outcome on the same wheel, that sounds like it'll be magic. Now, obviously, there's a lot to implementation, and you guys are going through a lot, and I'm glad that you guys are going through it. But I just appreciate the innovative thought process that you're utilizing while doing this. Because being a writer, it's easier for you to know exactly what we want and what we need. So we appreciate that.
Yeah. And having the size of tire, I mean, you can drop down the pressure and you can get through some pretty gnarly terrain with
Mm-hmm.
a lower pressure wheel
Mm-hmm.
and a lighter wheel.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So Michael is saying signaling lights on the Orion that target road safety standards for scooters or standards for pedal bikes. Seems Chinese companies want to deliver scooter motor power with pedal bike lights. So he's saying you need better lights. Um, what do you think?
It, uh, if we even decide to put lights on it, to be honest with you, you know what? I mean, really, that's the first thing I took off my Sherman was the light. The backlight. Um, I personally bought these little LED. I think they're like 1,000 lumens or something, and they flash. They're for bicycles. They're great. Um, but yeah, the lights are pretty modular. Probably something more like a Sherman light is what we're looking at. They're pretty great, but most people will take off lights, and I mean, I see some of these NYC riders, and
Mm-hmm.
they're lit up like Christmas trees anyway. So, what
Mm-hmm.
light do you need on your UC?
Well, I mean, no matter what, people are gonna put lights on it because
Yeah,
that's just what we do.
yeah,
We want more lights. And some people like LEDs, some people don't, but we you know I want to be seen more. But
and, and
my thing is
and
I
having
don't.
lights on me, like
Yeah.
having lights on my body,
Yep.
is far more visual than a light on my UC. A driver's going to see me standing, 6 feet above my wheel
Hmm.
before they're going to see the lights on my wheel.
Yeah. True, but my issue is I may not always have lights on me.
Yeah,
For the time that I go somewhere and get stuck out and hang out and then go, oh shoot, it's getting dark. I gotta head home. I didn't bring all my lights. Well, my wheel has lights anyway, so at least I have something. Whereas if I'm riding my wheel blacked out and then I don't have the
yeah.
lights, then I'm stuck. And that's one of the I love having lights on my body as well, but it's like I feel like do it all. Just so you're never stuck. And I mean, I say that, but I don't do a lot of night riding anyway. Just because of that, because it's I mean, I bought all these lights and stuff, and I'm like, I barely go out at night. It's just so dangerous. Um, not being seen. I'm like, in the daytime they don't see me. So
Yeah.
so
You know what? Having a light in the front, light in the back, yes. Signal lights, no.
okay, gotcha. So that answers your question, Michael. Not happening.
No
Okay,
signal lights, but
no
lights front
signal
and the
lights,
back.
right? So EUC vibes. He quoted $4,823.73 US dollars for what?
Sure, send it on over.
uh, so price of the commander. I do not know. Real talk. I did not get a price on the commander, but I do know that Marty's riding one now. So Marty, you're in the chat. Maybe he answered it already because we're a little far behind here. Um, you see, Sir Girl said she's going to mow the lawn. All right, well, you have fun with that. Jose, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. And Jose says, "Hey to you too, Kayden."
Hey, hey.
Let's see. Let's see. LOL. Have fun with the EUC, girl. Don't try mowing the lawn on your wheel, no matter how fun it sounds. Uh, I kind of want to. I kind of want to go back to that Segway, the Segway Mini Pro, and mow my lawn with it. But I might try it with my wheel. I've been meaning to do
I've
that.
mowed the lawn on my Sherman.
Yes, yeah, I've been meaning to do that. I just never did. Analog controls would be cool. Um, okay.
What do you want, like a gear shifter put on, or what?
I don't know. I don't know where he's going, but okay. If you want, you can mount a gear shifter on yours. Real talk. Yeah. Yeah, man. He says that cutoffs are the worst. They definitely are, buddy. Definitely are.
Yeah.
Ooh, Leo's asking adjustable pedals. Are you gonna have adjustable pedals on it? That seems to be the
Okay.
rage.
So adjustable pedals. I don't know if anybody knows anything because no one's really asked about our suspension system yet, which I find really funny.
Oh, we haven't got
Um,
there yet.
haven't got there yet. The pedals are linked to our suspension. So you can adjust the suspension up and down to what you want. So yes, you will have that. But also you can lock out our suspension as well. So you can have it locked at the top and you'll have a lot more clearance. You basically have a hardtail, right?
Right.
Um, and so pedal height is 9.5 inches from the ground.
Oh, so you're right around the V11.
I think we're a bit higher. What's the Sherman? I don't even know what the Sherman
The
is. I think
Sherman's
it's,
super low. But
is it?
the V11 has the highest clearance at 10 inches.
Are
It
you
has,
sure?
yep, the V11. When the suspension is when the suspension is pumped up, that's
Yeah.
why every time I ride up and get off, people go, "What the hell?" Because it's high off the ground.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to I
Pump it
have to
up.
talk about that with you. Yeah, pump it up.
Yeah, it's 10 inches
And a
off
two
the
and
ground.
and a 2.5 inch travel.
Okay, okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, so man on my EUC is asking. He says, "I love access to the smart BMS. Are they gonna? Is there gonna be access to it? Um, at least to be able to see it, or you're not sure yet.
Not sure. That's going to be a part of the yeah, the shell and the programming and stuff like that. So we're still working on that now.
Okay. So Marty says if you're going 40 miles an hour and Superman it, there's no time for a tilt back to kick in. There are limits to what's possible on a single wheel device. Yes, it's true, Marty. But at 40 miles per hour, there are abilities for you to limit it. That's what he's saying. Maybe you don't go into a tilt back, but maybe the speed slows down on you because you're reaching the limit of the capability of the wheel. So maybe it slows down on you. Maybe you program it like that. That's a safety idea.
Yeah, so Marty, to touch on that, so if it just if you reach 40 miles an hour and the wheel just stops accelerating, you're pushing forward, you're either going to lean yourself back or you're just going to fall down. Now, I don't know personally, I'd rather just if that was the case, I'd rather fall down at 40 degrees and just, hit the ground than, it just slam down.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, falling down at 40 miles an hour instead of slamming down at 40 miles an hour, there's a big difference there.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you 100% um, that it doesn't matter how fast or how slow you're going. If your wheel cuts out,
Yeah,
it's a bad day, because
yeah,
I was barely going fast. I was barely moving. I had just put my foot back up on the wheel and just started going when it quit, and I dumped 100% upside down
yeah,
because there was no go glide forward. The wheel just rotated forward, and I just went completely upside down. And that's how I broke my shoulder so bad, because all of the weight came straight down.
yeah.
Like I keep saying it, and I know everyone's heard me say it. If I had been traveling faster, I think I would have made out a lot better, because I would have Supermaned, and my shoulder would have been out in front of me, and I wouldn't have broken it.
Yeah,
But the cutout is what killed it. There
yeah.
was no warning; it just went out.
Yeah, if you're traveling, if we max it out and we, put into the coding that, the limit is 40 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour, whatever it is, whatever we limit it as, if that just starts beeping and there's a gradual beep and then a solid beep, then you're going to know you're at your limit, and then, you're going to lean back anyway, right?
Yeah.
And that's going to save the cutout. And then that way we can just eliminate the cutout altogether.
I hope so. I am really hoping, because honestly, the rally helped me a lot, but I'm still working through my PTSD over the whole thing. I still had trouble. I got on the Sherman and I pushed a little bit. I mean, barely. I'm doing like 25, and I'm like
Yeah,
breathing heavy, because all I'm thinking about is that cutout,
yeah,
and how I didn't get any warning. And I'm like, if this cuts out, and my heart's pounding, and I'm like, so I know that it takes a lot to get over it, and I know it's going to take me a while, but I mean, knowing that there's more safety measures that are, ideas that are being put into play. And I realize, like Marty said, there's only so much you can do on one wheel, but,
yeah.
just keep working on it, keep thinking about it, and keep, trying. We'll keep working it the best we can to make it happen, to make them better. So,
Don't
um,
worry, Marty. We'll just code out that cutoff. No worries.
so, I could use studs. That would be hella cool. Yeah, it would be.
Yep. And any of those Fat Boy tires are fully studdable.
That's nice.
So, I mean, that's what they're designed for, right? And deep snow, right? So,
Yep. Oh, so you gave me a shout out in your Monster Pro review, EUC girl. All right, I'll have to check out your video when I'm done here. Thanks for that. Vinny Chong said, boombox. Yeah, bring a boombox with you. Put it on your
mega
shoulders.
boom, baby. Mega boom.
I know he's talking about old school boombox, Radio Raheem. Doom,
Yep.
doom, doom. I'm gonna make a video
Put your
carrying that.
cassette tape in there.
Yeah, that's right. Pop the cassette.
That's right.
Okay, so let's see. What do we got? Spartacus says, I live in Minnesota where it does get to 20 below. Riding in the winter on a studded tire now, you got my attention. See?
Only 20 below? What are you living in Hawaii?
Says the Canadian living person.
45 below here is pretty standard at some point during our winters.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
How do you even get in the car? The car is just frozen.
Now I usually when I go start my car, I'll do it in my shorts.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
You're
shorts and sandals out to the car. If the walk is shoveled, I'll just go out, start it up, come back in.
you're a wild man, Kayden. You're a wild man. Not me, brother. Not me. So EUC Vibe says Kayden has me sold. I'll be honest. I'm buying this wheel 100%.
Sweet.
Listen, he's got a lot of us sold. That's the exact reason why I wanted to have him on the show, because I was getting a lot of question when I post some of this craziness, and they're like, "Wait, but what about this?" I'm like, I can't answer none of that, but he can.
Um, Fast charging. I know Marty's all about charging.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know what? Someone asked me about this the other day, and there's some. I mean, it's pretty easy to go, 5, 10 amp. I believe there's a 12 amp charger now as well.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
um, dual ports would be great. Three'd be better. I don't know.
Mm. Well, 3 would be better, but if dual ports at 10 amps,
Yeah, you'd be laughing. Yeah,
you got two 10 amp chargers on it, you don't have to worry about
yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
Um, so Real Talk says Marty should collaborate with Orion for a signature wheel.
Yeah, I reached out to Marty once, never got back to me. So
Oh, Marty. I think Marty's done that to a lot of people. Marty has a lot of fans.
yes, he
sometimes,
does. Yes, he
sometimes he
does.
doesn't get a chance to get back. You're
No,
not the
it's all
first
good.
person to tell me that. So Adam's asking nominal powder, not the nominal power on the motor.
You mean between the 4,000 and 7,000?
Yeah, when they say nominal power, I think it's at the output range. Like that's what the motor is. But I think um, I forget the equation when you're asking about nominal power. I think it's under load, what it is, or something like that. I'm not a tech guy. I only know little bits.
That's something that I would have to check with my partner on.
Okay.
That I'm not sure about, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie to you. So,
Okay. Sounds good.
um, yeah, um,
All right, you can post that up later. The question that was
yeah,
asked, here's the answer. There we go.
yeah. Nope. There we go.
So he's also asking us, you can always customize your wheel with lights and sound. Give me performance that I can't mod, and yeah, that I can't mod, and I'll do the rest. That's right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll be good. Love the modular idea. Me too, man. I'm excited about that.
Yeah,
Removable and swappable batteries. That's it.
that's where it's at.
EUC girl said my dad used the speaker as a seat too. Okay.
Yeah, it's huge, right?
Yeah.
Like the mega boom, you could totally sit on it.
Oh, I don't know that I would want the boom coming out with my butt on it. But yeah, sure. So how easy will a tire change be? There
A lot easier than a Sherman, let me tell you.
you go.
Yeah. And fully accessible, how this is something that's bothered me is getting access to those valves. It's brutal,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Um, yeah, getting access to those has always been an issue, and that's something that, we're definitely looking at, or we looked at going into the wheel as well,
Mhm.
right? So,
Yeah, that always drives me nuts. Especially if you're like, oh, I need some air, and you drop down on the side of the road and you whip out your pump and you're like trying to
trying
get
to get
that
in
thing
there,
in there.
yeah,
So you buy all kinds of attachments, trying to get an attachment that works right with that
yeah,
specific angle on
angle,
that wheel. Ah,
yeah.
pain in the butt.
Yeah, and that's something that my partner Yardimir, he did think about that, creating this beast as well, right? So
Yep.
it was well thought out, and um, yeah,
Okay.
super
So,
easy.
Francisco, what's up, buddy? He says, even if this wheel doesn't appeal to me, I'm glad we are seeing more wheels come out. It helps the evolution of these wheels. Thank you for making this happen. Definitely. See? So even though he's probably not gonna get it, he's just echoing our sentiments that we're happy that it's being made. So we just
Yeah,
hats off to you, my friend. We appreciate you and your team and making sure that you guys are all doing what you're doing. We love to see it.
love
Love to
it.
see it. What
And no
battery?
wood screws. Don't worry, Marty. No wood screws on this one.
I was just talking about that the other day too. I was like, that's the good thing. If it's gonna be made in the U.S., we'll have actual screws and not wood screws, or
Yeah.
not in China. I know it's
Yeah,
not
we'll use
U.S.,
some
but
stainless, or maybe on Marty's wheel we'll put titanium on there. Who knows? And some Loctite, just so Marty doesn't complain.
there you go. Gotta put the Loctite. So Adam's asking, what battery voltage are you going with?
35 to 4300 watts, watt
The
hours.
but is it gonna be a 100-volt wheel? Um, is it gonna be a 126-volt wheel?
It'll be over 100.
Okay, over 100. Over 100. I like that. We can take
Booyah!
booyah.
Over 99.
It's gonna be a 99-watt motor.
99.98.
So yeah, let's see. Give me, oh, here we go. Give me a rail and a port to plug my own lights into the board, and you've solved the problem. Yeah,
That's a good idea.
yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's one of the things I love. One of the other things I love about the Sherman is the fact that you can do so much tailoring to it because it has the metal frame, the metal bar across it. You can mount things to it and do what you
Yeah.
need to do. That was a game changer right there. So,
Yeah, and you know what? That's something that, I was really impressed with.
mhm.
It's just the way they mounted that bar, those two bars on that Sherman, really blew my mind.
Mhm.
And I pulled mine apart and saw the wood screws into the metal. I'm like, really? This is, you can build this, but you can't connect it properly? Really? I
Well,
guess.
I can still tell you it was a huge step in the right direction. So
Yep,
that
it
was,
was.
yeah. That's one of the things I'm happy about. That some of the pushing that we're doing is having an effect. So
Yeah.
we're getting
And
there.
and and the size of the battery, the batteries, no one's actually asked about what cells we're using either,
Yeah.
which I'm super excited about because I will tell you I've reached out to Tesla
Woo,
about
woo.
some new stuff that they're doing as well and new cells that they've created. So here's hoping.
Okay. Okay. Well, here's hoping. Let me send some positive thoughts your way and hope that that happens. So Marty says the EXN has zero lights and it's a brute. I like LEDs, but it doesn't bother me if they don't exist. You have limited resources, spend them on the design. Yeah, that's what
Yep,
we
exactly.
we agree
Quality,
with that,
right?
Marty. We agree with that. I like them, but it is just a plus.
Yeah.
The
Quality, not
engineering,
quantity.
yeah, definitely quality, not quantity. The engineering is more important.
Yeah.
Um, so man on my EC says you are actually more visible at night with flashing lights than you are riding in the daytime. Yeah, and I know lights at night can be seen more, but the lights themselves are seen, not you actually. And um, it's just inherently, and not just. I'm not only talking about them seeing you. I'm also talking about you seeing what you're riding over, because many people don't see
Yeah.
big potholes and craters until they get up on them, and when they're riding at night and they're getting up some speed, it's so dangerous. I've seen
Yeah.
many people go, "Oh shit," because they did not see it and it was too late. They hit it and they ate shit, and it's like, wow. So riding during the daytime is just a safer bet. That's just the way it
Yeah.
is.
It is, yep. True story. I that's one of the things I love about the Sherman, to be honest with you, is that front light. It's unreal.
Mhm.
I would have liked to have seen two lights down the front so you can select one or the other.
Yeah.
Like the rail lights, right?
Yeah, I like the idea that the S20 has. The
Yeah.
S20
I do
has
like that.
those two and they move. I was like, "Ooh." I was like, "That's a good idea. That's those going to be some decent lights."
Yeah, they move forward like they
Yes, that's
tilt
what
or
it is.
something,
Not
don't they?
side to
Yeah.
side forward. Yeah, they tilt forward back. I that whole design, I was like, "Man." And as I said before, I'll say it again. I was not a fan of the S18. I thought the S18 was too easily overpowered for a big guy like me, and it wasn't the wheel for me. It didn't have enough girth and enough power to make me happy and think about riding it. Actually, at the rally on Sunday was the first time I ever rode the S18. Although I didn't mind the ride, it was fine. It didn't wow me. It didn't have enough for me. And I guess because in my mind I'm thinking I know I can overpower this wheel with a quick lean, and I'm like,
Yeah.
nah. So now the S20 being a 126 volt and being, having everything that it has, I'm like, every box I asked for, tick, 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 tick. I'm like, okay, now King Song's got my attention. So I feel the same thing with you guys. You guys are doing things that are innovative, but at the same time, it seems like you're taking lessons learned from others and implementing it also in the wheel while you're building. So I appreciate that
Yep.
as well.
Well, and that's one of the things with a lot of the other wheels. Everybody's doing what the lights, for example, that King Song did.
Hmm.
What's going to happen when that crashes and that actually tags something? Those are obliterated. Then you've got the external suspension system that it
Hmm.
just hangs out the back, and that's going to be it. Because the first time you bend one of those suspension arms, you're done. If it's not even cast, I don't know. I haven't had my hands on one, so I don't even know if it's aluminum made into a cast. So if it's
Yeah.
cast, you're into a whole other problem
Yeah.
and not
I
CNC'd.
I have a feeling though, and obviously I've never touched it either. I have a feeling that they made them so that you can swap them out. I don't. I think I remember uh, Jack saying that you could replace the lights easily. I think I remember him saying that. I believe it was him. I could be wrong, but I believe it was him that said you could swap them out because they were
Yeah,
anticipating that that's a possibility. And as far as the shock is concerned, I know you can swap the shock. I don't know how strong, like you said, that back is. So once it flips in the air, spins on a fall, and bangs it, I don't
that'll
know.
be
I
it.
mean, if it's toast, then what's the use? But we shall see. We definitely shall see. Um,
Doesn't matter how much you CNC those arms, they're going to bend if they hit a pole.
yeah. Well, I think the idea of it is they need to be replaceable. They need to
Yeah,
be easily replaceable. So it can't be something that allows the wheel to be a total. Right.
dismantled. Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be something that okay, you take it apart, take this arm, send it in, and we'll send you new ones. You can buy new ones. Okay, good, let's go. That's the only way
As
that
long
that
as they make
works.
that part, I mean, getting stuff from China right now is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like we're talking months.
So Leo says access to the BMS, I think, means managing or seeing the status of individual batteries in an app or
Yeah,
something. Yes, that's what we're talking about.
yeah,
But the difference in that, Leo, because I know some people they asked that question on my show before, and looking at the BMS is one thing, and seeing which cells are having a problem will help you if you have a bad cell. If you have some bad cells in your battery pack, it'll let you know that hey, there's going to be an issue and before you're going to have a fire or something crazy. But there's a
yeah.
difference in managing your BMS. That's a difference because some people said that they don't want to give access to the BMS to people who are owning the wheels because they're afraid of what they could mess up and cause a fire or something. So
Yeah.
I know that companies were saying that maybe we'll let you see it but not mess with it, kind of thing. So there's two different options there. And you were saying that you're not sure yet, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's definitely something that won't be accessible for someone to change, but visible.
Okay. That's my niece, Denise. What's up, niece? Denise. She's like, yeah, she jumps in every show. I appreciate you watching. Um,
Hi, Denise.
uh, Sherman pedal height is 6.7. After our
Yeah.
conversation, somebody measured it. Yeah, I knew it was a lot lower than the V11. The V11, 10 inches, hands down, the best one around. As far as height goes, the highest one around. Uh, let's
Well, then
see.
we're going to have to adjust our pedals then to compensate for that extra zero point 0.5 inches now. Great. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh, V. What's up, V? My girl's in here. She said, don't feel bad that Marty hasn't gotten back with
I know,
you.
right? I
Yeah,
know.
because, yeah, I ain't even going to say it. Marty, okay. um, and she said, hasn't gotten back to you. It happened to the best of us.
And I think it's only been like 5 months or 6 months or whatever. So maybe another 6 months. I'm waiting.
He's gonna get back to you soon.
I know, right?
Okay, so Doug Bartlett says, what weight will it be? Kind of looks like it won't be able to be lifted into the back of a car.
Um, yeah. So if you can lift 100 pounds, you'll be okay.
There you go. Hey,
Yeah.
Monster Pro, baby. EX. Hey, there's some heavy wheels out here. It is what it is.
Yeah. What's the? I just saw. Was it the Commander?
Yep.
It was like 88 pounds or 89 pounds or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, but again, with a modular battery,
Take the battery
could
out.
definitely, yeah, could
There you
definitely
go.
compensate for a lot of weight distribution there.
There you go. It's easier to to move your wheel in two pieces than it is in one. So it is what it
Yeah.
is.
And that's something else that someone asked me about shipping as well. It's not going to get shipped out as one piece. It'll get shipped out in like probably at least two pieces.
Yeah.
Just the sheer cost, either from the US or Canada was ridiculous amount of money. So that if we split it into two different shipments and you can put it together, and that's something I had mentioned as well. I mean, happy to walk you through, putting the wheel on or whatever. It's gonna reduce that cost considerably.
Gotcha. Yep.
And then
So
and then of course that's not going to reflect, it wouldn't reflect the cost of the wheel as well, right? Because if we ship it as one piece, now we've got to take into consideration the cost of the wheel to compensate for the shipping.
yeah. All right. I just want to real quick acknowledge New York NYC mom wife teacher there, Livette, with the super sticker. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. And it's a hippo character. I wish we could see the stickers because those are pretty. They're hilarious. The descriptions. And
I love those stickers.
Francisco's her husband, and appreciate you for the super sticker as well, buddy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate both of you. That's my favorite EUC couple right there. So I had a question here from Adam. He said I would love to see the vector motor control, which does not need the hall sensor, eliminate another point of failure. STM32 gives you all the source code free. That's way over my head. Is that something you need to pass on?
It's over my head, yeah. I'd have to talk to Yar about that. Yeah, that's that. On
So
the business side of things, and
yeah. So Adam, do me a favor. Go to Kayden Steele's Instagram and send him that message so that he can get
yeah,
back to you. Because that's
yeah.
something that I'm reading the question, going, damn. So okay, so EC Vibe said I just had an amazing visual of V doing full send on the Orion. And V doesn't weigh anything, so she'll be flying. Marty, here you go. Marty says, sorry about missing your chat. Wasn't on purpose.
It's all good, Marty. It's all good, buddy.
Wah, wah, wah.
We'll talk about it when I come down there next summer, Marty.
What?
Oh, man. Okay. So EUC girl says, Kayden, you should call it the tractor.
It's a beast.
Oh, I like the Orion, and I also like the Mac Daddy. That was a good one too, Kayden. So Leo says, thinking about distribution in Brazil or South America.
Global.
Global, baby.
Why would we limit ourselves to, any country really? If a shipping container can get there, I'm pretty sure we can get it to you.
There you go. They'll put it on a camelback if they need to.
That's exactly how it's going to go down. Yeah. No, you know what? If we ship it in multiple pieces, it's cheap. It's very minimal cost. It comes down to weight, and you're going to pay for the batteries. The batteries are the worst to ship because it's the heaviest part of the wheel.
Yeah.
Other than our hub and our motor and stuff and our internal suspension system, that's all one piece, right? So there's weight there with the magnets as well. So If we ship
Gotcha.
those two separate pieces and you're, knowledgeable enough to put it together, it's going to be cheap and easy, right?
Oh, and I saw the magnets and when they were putting that rim and motor together. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. As a matter of fact, in case you guys didn't see that, I'm gonna put that up again because that had me like, whoa. I had to look at it a couple times. And then he put his foot in between there. I was like, whoa. I don't know if you
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
do that.
Yeah, you got to hold it down because once that gets close, it just sucks. Like that'll shear your finger off.
Yeah. Well, he put his foot down
Yeah.
there. I'm like, please keep your toes inside. I was
Hey, I
like,
think I think I made a comment on that post as well. Someone said something about his toes. I said they don't have any toes left to worry about. It's not a big deal.
man, I saw him do that and I was like, whoa. One quick
Yeah.
movement the wrong way. Trip to the
Yeah.
hospital. Yeah, but that's pretty cool to look at though. It's huge.
Yeah.
So what do we got here? Also he says, look out, I think I just saw V whiz by. Can't be sure about the blur, but I'm pretty sure. She's always flying around. And she's been traveling so much, I'm jealous. Let's see. Saying what's up, saying what's up. Anything about solid state batteries?
No.
So that's not something you were looking at.
No, not right now.
Okay.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna try something here. Nope, it's not working.
But you seen if it will flip?
Yeah, having trouble with my battery, but that's fine. No. So we're looking at, the Samsung cells. I did reach out to Tesla about their new 4680 cells, which could be a game changer in
Yeah.
range and whatnot. So still waiting. Haven't heard back yet. I just reached out to them about a week or so ago. So
Okay.
we'll see how that goes.
Well, here's hoping they get back to you. And if they do,
Yeah,
if they get back to you, tell them I need a car.
I know, right?
I will.
You and me both.
I test drove a Model Y and I want one really bad. That might be my retirement gift to myself in a couple years. I don't know, depending on
They are
what's out
insane.
then, because I really
I,
wanted
I,
that truck, but
yep.
whew,
The truck's a 2-year wait.
yeah, and I can't swing that. That's just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. The way my bank account is set up is not going to work. It's not going to work. So Adam says, I would like just a flat surface to attach my own power pads instead of factory power pads.
Yep, exactly.
So you're going to have a lot of surface. If you look at the side of that wheel, there's going to be a lot of surface there. They're going to
Yeah.
manufacture their own power pads, but you're going to leave room. So if somebody wants to put their own on instead, they can. Right? Is that the idea?
Yeah, yeah, you know what? I mean, power pads are pretty easy to make. I mean, everybody's 3D printing them, Sai's doing them, Clark's doing them.
Yep.
There's lots of guys with scenes or 3D printers now and printing carbon fiber mixed that PVE or whatever it is. It's
Yeah.
insane. So there, that's the least of our worries, our power pads, because power pads are so personal.
Yeah, they
If
are.
you look at what I have on my Sherman, I have wings. Like I have full on like I think they're like 5 inches deep or whatever, but I can literally go up a gondola trail without any kind of cutouts,
Wow.
and I can just power through them. So least of our worries at this point, but yeah, you're gonna have lots of surface to do any power pad you want.
Yeah, and that's good. That's exactly what he was
Yeah,
saying, and I agree with it. That's something that you really want.
yeah,
You
because it's
want to
pretty
be able.
personal. There's lots of guys that don't want it.
Yeah, right. So that's like when wheels come out, like the V11 has some that are made for it, whatever. It's great
Yeah,
when you make stuff for it, but also remember to make the option for others to put what they want on it because
yeah,
it may be great and it may work for 80% of the people, but there's still that 20% that want to put their own on it and
yeah,
they want to put
exactly.
wings on it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
we gotta allow. So he's saying, good point, Cobra. I find I ride about 10 miles per hour slower at night than in day, just being safe, even with Sherman lights. It's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Night is dangerous. Just, you can't see that ground. It's hard enough in the daytime when you're like whizzing along at a good speed, especially if you get into it like I do. You're like, hey, whoa.
Yeah. And that's not even throwing in the factor of like say 3 or 4 inches of snow.
Oh God, yes. And then the snow is like, I hate when it's like just enough to cover the fucking pothole, and then you're like,
Yeah.
boom! I didn't even see it because all I saw was a nice glaze over it. You're like, oh
Yeah.
man, yeah, that's the
Yeah,
worst.
and that's the thing with the Orion. I mean, if you look at the Fat Boy tires, if you've ever ridden a Fat Boy tired bike in the winter or any time, they're unbelievably comfortable to ride. They are insane. So not only do you have full suspension, but you've also got the balloon tire, which is mind blowing to ride in itself.
Yeah, yeah. So, um, just to help him out real quick, Splice, I see that you were asking EUC Vibes about that, um, the V11 Splice guard, and that's what this one is that I was showing right here. This is the splice guard that you made for the the V12, not the V11, the V12, and I haven't put it on yet. I'm riding it a little bit more without it, and then I'm gonna put it on, um, and try and do some things with that. Just because Tommy can't ride right now, he's still healing up. Heal up, Tommy. Heal up. I mean, I'm healing up too, but thank God my injury is above my legs, so I don't have to worry about it. His injury is leg related, so it's a little harder for him to ride the wheel. So, but we'll get that on, Splice. Don't worry, we'll get that on, and I'll do some at least a couple videos to show it. You'll see it soon. Let's see. Suddenly they're talking, having conversations. So, Kayden, while I'm scrolling through here, I just want to make sure we covered. So we covered the tire, the motor, the battery, the price. This is what we didn't cover: the date. Talk to the people about what you're looking at for some sort of release date or idea of a round.
Summer 2023.
Summer 2023. So for those of you who are like me and you're like, ooh, I want it now, just keep in mind that the projection right now is for summer 2023. I'm hoping that it's fall 2022, but 2023 is what he's aiming for. So I'm hoping that he gets that boost of cash, and he gets that incentive, and everyone gets in high gear and we get it sooner. But that's what he's aiming for right now, and that's his projection. So
if we had, I have people right now that are interested in in either taking over the project, but I have a feeling they're looking to produce it somewhere else. But if we, like I said, if we had that injection by an investor, I could definitely see putting some of these out, fall next year.
yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
That'd be good. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Put me in,
Yeah.
coach.
What?
Put me in.
Yeah. 1 or 2 here, 1 or 2 in the U.S., and a couple in Europe.
Yeah.
It would be ideal. Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
So, actually, correction, Splice. I guess this is the one you made for the RS, but he said it seems like it fits the V12 kind of, so we're gonna try and put it on. I hope everyone in the chat does a Halloween EUC group ride. That's a good idea. I might set one up here, even though we only have a few riders. Kayden, on that, how long we talked about the time frame and how you got into it. How is the EUC scene where you are in Canada? First of all, what part of Canada are you in, and how's the EUC scene there?
I'm in Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Okay.
And you're looking at the EUC scene right here. No, you know what? There's a lot of scooters here. There's not a lot of UCs, to be honest with you.
Wow.
But in Vancouver, on our coast, our west coast, it's insane. shout out to EVs. Those guys are really doing it right out there. Yeah. Um, Calgary is we can literally ride like 5 months a year here. Unless you're running a studded tire, you're riding in pretty slick conditions. So it's all right. It's not the best. It's not New York City. I mean, it's not LA, but
Yeah.
we're getting there.
We can't all be LA. We can't all be LA.
I know, but when you look at the growing, industry, I mean, it is just leaps and bounds, even the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So
Oh
it's
yeah.
just getting bigger. There's
It's
nowhere but up from here.
it's grown astronomically.
Yeah,
Honestly, when I first started, I mean, it was a couple years ago, and I definitely got a lot of what the hell is that you're on, and I do
yeah,
still get some of that, but a lot of people I get, hey, oh, that's one of those wheel things, like they've seen
yeah,
it, they heard about it, they don't remember exactly what it's called, but I saw another guy riding that, or I saw that on YouTube, or and I'm like, okay, that's a difference. That's already a change,
yeah,
and soon it'll be, oh, that's the V11, huh? Or, oh, that's the S18, huh? So they'll know and more people will
yeah.
be on it. So, it is what it is. We're getting there slowly but surely. I'm okay with it.
I think in my city, I think our population's like, I don't know. I don't even know. It's like 1.3 million or something. I think there's five Sherman riders in my city.
Hmm. Yeah. And I understand that because even here, I'm in Springfield, Massachusetts, and we probably have five or six.
Yeah,
And it's like, okay, obviously I know them all.
yeah,
So, so every time, so if I see somebody on a wheel I don't know, I'm like, oh wait, what? Who's that? And it may be someone new who
yeah,
just started. So,
yeah,
excuse me, I take it back. There might be six or seven now. So,
yeah.
okay, so hate mail is asking, will it have a kickstand?
Um, Probably not. But final production model, um, I foresee it having. Well, I can't really get into it, but there will be a way for you to do something with it and not
Gotcha.
just lay it on its side. Yeah,
I gotcha. I think I know where you're going with that. Man on the move, man on the move. What's up, man? What's up? Good to see you here, bro. So E. Simon says smart BMS is long overdue in EUC. My wife's Xiaomi M365 scooter has smart BMS and is a cheap machine. You're right, but they're thinking about it. He trying to incorporate it. We've been talking about it with every new EUC evolution. We've been talking about it, so eventually we're gonna get it. Um,
yeah, and there's a company here in Canada that does BMS systems. So yeah,
very good,
and
very good.
then they do full custom BMS.
Uh, okay, so man on my EEC says, man, do I love the EEC community? We are awesome. Yes, we are. Shouts out
Indeed,
to the big EUC community around the world, global,
love
baby.
that. Global. That's what it's all about.
That's right. That's why I love doing these shows because honestly, bringing people from around the world and bringing the global community together, I love it.
Yeah.
I don't. There's not a lot of support here. Honestly, I don't get a lot of support at all here at home when it comes to this area. At home, my job, nobody. It's always, you still doing that stuff. It's not the same. But when I come together with my fellow riders from around the world, the camaraderie that I feel with you guys is amazing, and I'm really glad that we're able to come together so well. And there's always such positivity and enthusiasm and energy around this whole idea of electric unicycles. So I appreciate all of you. I mean, I just want to give a quick shout out and high five to everybody in the EUC community. I appreciate you all. Um,
Yeah, and you know what? That's funny that was mentioned. I thoroughly enjoy stopping and talking to every person that even looks funny at me. I'm happy to stop and go, yeah, this is what it is. This is what it does.
Mm-hmm.
I had over the summertime, I had several kids that were like maybe 9 or 10 years old, but I had them stand on it. I'm like, here, and I would hold the wheel and, prop them up against a light post or something. Here, just stand on it. But it made their day, and
Yeah.
it's something that they're gonna take away from that and go on smiling, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, I did get, I got some little some little thugs, some little wannabe thugs. Yo, can I ride that? No.
Yeah,
I was like, give me 3 grand, you can ride it. Because
yeah,
obviously they were gonna keep going or try and steal it from me or something.
yeah,
But when you get legitimate people who are really looking at it in a authentic, like, wow, you
yeah,
can't help but stop and talk about it, tell them about it, give them the opportunity. Yeah, you want to learn? Hey, we can get together. I'll teach you. And it's
yeah.
like, it's such a great feeling. And I love passing on technology and new things to new people. That really gets me going. My wife always says, she's like, you just have to be the first one. I'm like, I do. I really love the feeling of finding out new things and passing it on to new people. And to me, I feel like it's part of what I'm here for. So
Well, and the technology is limitless.
it
Like
is.
when you look at what we've done with our internal suspension system, there's nothing like it on the market.
It's true. It's true.
You
Um,
know, our whole suspension system is completely inside our motor.
yeah. Oh, what's funny is that's the next question that Vibes was had. He said, "Have you considered suspension, roll cage, two things I love on EUCs, but no wheel has both?" Now, um, theirs has suspension, and
Yeah.
they haven't completed construction on the body yet. So if they have any kind of roll cage, then you have both.
Yes. Yeah, so our suspension is built into our motor, our custom motor. It's all one piece. So you know, when you look at crashing and stuff like that, our suspension system is not in any way going to be damaged by a crash. And it is a full double barrel suspension.
Nice.
Um, yeah, yeah. So now you mentioned roll cage. Our framework is done. Our basically the only thing that we haven't done is odds and ends when it comes to like the shell, you know, or the coating and stuff like that. And that's really about it. So we're there.
Okay. So let me ask you this: where do you believe production is going to take place? And what
I'd
what
like
what part of the world? Put it that way.
if everything works out the way I would like it to, both Yar and I would like to see production, full production here in Canada.
Okay.
Um, there are a couple of companies that have reached out to me here, which would allow us to do production here. If we did production in the US, that'd be great. As long as we have, or even in Europe, to be honest with you.
Hmm.
But overall, I'd like to see Canada, but we'll see. As long as it's somewhere accessible that we can oversee the actual, um, building of the units themselves in
Right.
some sort of manner, so we can really control, the product quality.
Yeah, and that's key. That's definitely
Yeah,
key. Okay,
yeah,
so Leo said that a local reassemble could put it together and could buy
yeah,
the batteries also locally. Oh yeah, that's another idea. That
yeah,
way, accessibility to what we need quicker. Um,
yeah. And someone had brought up manufacturing all of the parts in China and then having everything shipped here, quality control, and then build it by hand here in Canada or Europe. Also another option, but
but if you do that, that's exactly how they begin to reverse engineer what you have, and
exactly.
they have
Yep.
done. That's what they did with the hoverboard. That's what
Yep.
with Segway and
One
EUCs and
wheel.
everything. They get you produce it there because it's cheaper, and they just
Yeah.
grab the parts and reverse engineer them, and bam, they got a cheaper copy of what you make. And then we're in the same boat because their quality control is not as good. Their products, the what you know,
Yep.
they cheaper things to make it easier and less expensive, and just quick ways to turn a buck, and they ruin the enterprise that was started with great intention.
Yeah, and they take a CNC part and then they'll cast it.
Yep,
Instead of using that CNC part, they'll just use a cast part.
because it's
You know, it's
cheaper.
like, yeah. And so that's something that we're absolutely not looking to do.
Yeah,
We definitely want to keep it as Canadian European as we can. If we can, um, if we can incorporate a U.S. Manufacturer somehow, we will.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Uh, so he's also saying if you make a modular battery just under airplane restrictions, they can individually be shipped. If the lipo sleeves on planes, I believe. Well, yeah. The thing is, if you can change battery size, you can have one that would be small enough,
Yeah.
and then
To go on.
yeah, and then you could either ship the other battery if you needed the bigger one, or get it locally as they're more readily available, and that would be pretty cool.
Yep. Or I don't know, maybe some sort of exchange program.
Yep, that would work. That would work.
We
So
have thought of it all.
these are all things that I love because the brainstorming here is just incredible. So,
Yeah.
oh, you see, I said it would be funny if Elon gets back to Kayden before Marty.
Marty's Marty's probably messaging me right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's funny. But then Marty's got a good one. Marty said, it really is great to see Western engineering principles and sensibilities applied to EUCs. 100%, Marty. 100%. I give you props for that comment because that's exactly what this whole project has made me proud of. Yes, it's like I said, it's not a US based company, but again, it's our thoughts, ideas, moralities being inputted into something that we love, but we know can be better. That's the hard part about EUCs. We see the technology and we know it can be better, but all they're thinking is cheaper and more money and more money. And I want to make more money. And it's like, no, 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 no. Make it better.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, my partner Yormir, he's out of Russia, and
okay.
he's the one that designed this wheel, and it's just snowballed from there. He is a brilliant, brilliant designer, and I am proud to be a partner with him. And we just want to bring you the best wheel we can with no wood screws.
There you go. There you go. No wood screws. Hashtag no wood screws. No.
That's right. I'm
uh,
gonna start adding that into my hashtag. Hashtag no wood screws.
there you go. Me too. I'm gonna throw
Yeah.
it in there.
Yep.
I don't know if you saw that, but Marty says, "Wish you the best success."
Thanks, Marty. I appreciate that, buddy.
Um, so, what is the size of the Orion's rim?
I think the rim was 26 by 4, I think,
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
yeah. Um, awesome snow wheel, especially for East Coast. Will it be waterproof? Aha.
Yeah, so IPX 5, IPX 6, I think we were talking about
Okay.
as a weather rating. So, that's high pressure jets at all directions, all angles, non-submersible, obviously.
Okay.
I think I just watched someone's video and they were talking about the new V12 or something. He's like, "Yeah, I could throw it into the lake there, pull it back out, and it'll work no problem." I almost commented, I'm like, "I would love to see that."
Everyone would, but I know EUC vibes. He scared me. He did put water. He put a hose on it, I think, on the V12. So somebody said, "Be careful." He put water on that, but it's been riding good since. Uh, so he says one thing I like about the Sherman is the control board is separate from the batteries.
Yeah.
Will the
Yep.
Orion house the control board separately?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, good. That's again another lesson learned, and one of those things that once you see it done right, you're like, that doesn't make sense not to do that. So,
No.
oh, what's
No,
up?
and
EVX is in the house. Accessible BMX. Yeah, Mickey EVX. He says accessible BMS is good as long as I have one, the ability to see the health and percentage of the cells, and two, be able to force balance if it's out of whack.
yeah. So I mean, the Sherman's the same way. Like you can check your battery status on the Sherman as well,
Hmm. But on the
or the
Sherman,
voltage or whatever.
though, can you? I don't think you can see the battery packs though. You can just
No,
see
you
the
can't see the
overall
battery.
voltage.
Yeah, you can see the overall voltage. When it comes to the actual cells themselves, I don't know. Overall voltage, maybe.
Yeah, because I mean the idea that we were talking about. I think it was on the show when I had Mickey on. We were talking about it, but it was the idea that one of the problems that China has also um, in the quality control department is that they buy batches and batches of these batteries and they do not test each individual cell, and then they
Yeah,
put them all together so you can get a brand new wheel that has a bad cell or two and you don't even know. So
yeah,
that's why they were saying if we could get smart BMS that is manageable, not that it has to be manageable to the point where we could, go crazy with it, but somehow we could force it to
check the
balance.
cells.
Yeah, like you could see the battery packs and know that cells 2, 3, and 8 are bad. So let's balance it and exclude those, or some way to keep it so that it's still balanced and it's not going to throw it off whack and cause a fire or something nuts. And I think that's the
Yeah.
idea that most people are asking for.
Yeah, and I think that's something that comes down to coding as well, right? That's something that can be integrated into the system.
Yes, yes, that's what
Yeah,
I believe.
that's all
I'm,
coding.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm answering all these questions from my standpoint, and I don't know a whole bunch. I just know what I've heard and what conversations I've been a part of. So I'm hoping that something like that is possible while you guys are coding that.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
totally. And it comes down to the same. Marty talked about. We talked about cutouts and stuff like that. It all comes down to coding.
Hmm.
It's pretty basic coding for. I know it's not basic for me because I don't know how to code. But talking with the people that I've talked to that do this kind of thing, they're like, oh yeah, it's no problem. I'm like, okay, how? Well, there's 48 lines of code you got to write. I'm like, okay, make it happen.
Yeah, yeah. do You're like, whatever wizardry you need to do it.
Yeah, yeah. I just want it to sound like the Dukes of Hazzard when you
you know, is that is
when
that
I hit
is
a
it
jump, I needed to make this sound. It's simple.
is that too
Exactly,
much to
exactly.
ask?
Yeah, it's not hard.
So EUC Vibes is asking, what wheel besides the Orion is Kayden's personal favorite thus far?
Oh, Sherman, hands down.
I knew that answer.
Oh yeah. Like I can do 100K in a blink of an eye and still come home with like ample battery to go out to do anything the next day.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's just a beast to ride. Now I've seen the Commander. They're pretty incredible.
Hmm.
Um,
Looks
yeah,
good.
I'm super excited about it. I mean, the new wheels are great. They
Yeah.
they do look great.
I was not excited about the Commander at first, and Mickey said something. He said he was excited about it. Excuse me. At first, I thought he was joking, simply because I looked at the it wasn't the Commander that got my attention first, because that's not the first one that came out. I was looking at oh, and of course now I can't think of the name. The Sherman's newest one, um the Abrams, and
Oh,
I,
the
I was
Abrams.
like, I absolutely love the look of it because it looks polished and finished and smooth, and I was like, wow, that's a great looking wheel. And then the Commander next to it does not look good. It doesn't look anywhere near as good as the Abrams does.
It's not as
However,
polished.
the Abrams specs are definitely not as good as the Commanders. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man. it's one thing to pretty it up, but don't pretty it up and not boost up the specs. That just seems stupid.
Yeah, and that's something that the guys at EVs out of Vancouver had touched on just recently. I think it was last night or today. Were the pedals. So they make this great wheel, but they do this pedal that it looks like it's plastic or something, and it's got the plastic bumps or grips,
On the edges of
CNC or
grips.
yeah. So I'm like, well, why wouldn't you just put like adjustable pegs in there? Like, why would you cheap out there?
I don't
It,
know.
it doesn't make sense to me. If you're going to make these kinds of wheels, don't cheap out. And that's something that I had some comments about is why is your wheel going to cost $6,000 Canadian? Well, number one, it's not manufactured in China, and number two, you're going to get the quality that you would expect out of a Canadian, American, or European product.
Yeah.
Period.
Period.
Enough said.
Yep. Yep. Mic drop. I get it. I feel you. I understand, and I'm with you 100% on board. So V is saying something. She said, "Hey guys, can you get the likes up for Cobra? Definitely, please, guys. Everybody watching right now. There's 40 people watching right now. Hit that like button for me, please. You guys know it helps the algorithm pay attention to the video and helps push it out there. Because you guys know that live videos only get like 100, couple hundred plays, whatever. They usually don't get a whole lot. This one, I'm sure, it's going to get a lot more because a lot of people are interested in that Orion and they want to hear what you have to say. But the likes will help, so please like the video, guys, and continue to share it. Just
I
share
can't I can't like anything, but I can mute you and I can hang up on you.
it. Let's see. Oh yeah. So Athakora is saying, saw Sean's recent vlog about the original EUC patent holder in the US. Is that going to be a problem? Um, no, I don't believe so. Yeah. Hasn't been a problem for anyone yet, so no.
No. And patents are pretty patents can be pretty vague and they can be extremely detailed. Um, you know, the thing is, nobody has the system of motor or wheel that we have right now. Nobody has it. Nobody has that technology. It's something that nobody else is doing. So yeah, we're not worried.
Yeah,
My lawyer's not worried. So
so we're good. It's all good.
yeah.
Vegan, what's up, buddy? I saw your chat here. I meant to say something a minute ago. What's up, Sensei Vegan? Another one of my riders from the Wheel Life Rally. He took third place. He was riding his heart out, and I really appreciate you, Vegan, because he was there last year riding the Tesla in off-road races. I was like, man, you're brave. Like the Tesla has like that much clearance, between not just the pedal height, but the body alone comes down to where the wheel, and he was doing it. He was falling off of it left and right. But this year he came back with the RS and he was smoking butt. I was like, all right, man, he was getting it in. So Vegan, shouts out to you, man. Big improvement over last year. And it was glad. I was really glad to have you. He another positive energy person who I love being around. So I appreciate you, bro.
I
Let's
love
see.
watching those videos. Those are awesome.
Yeah. Look, I got more. I had a chest camera on for some of it. I had my 360 camera in my hand. I was mad because the fact that it was such short notice, I didn't have a videographer or anyone to capture video for me because I wanted them to capture all the starts and finishes and all the highlights.
Yeah.
And here I am trying to help put the race together, doing the announcing, and then trying to get a clip. I missed so many things that it's like, I'm sorry. So I can only give you guys snippets but let me tell you, the people who were there, you already see that there's a lot of people. Vegan put out a video already on the rally, which is really good. And Managed Menace, which is Anthony Edwards, he put out something on Instagram today, I believe. And it was my race, one of the races that I won. And I was like, finally, somebody got footage of me because I'm the only I got footage of other people, but obviously I don't have any footage of me. And I was winning the first races left and right. I'm like, nobody recorded that. but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of good energy. One wheels. The one wheels, I got to give a shout out to the one wheel riders. They came out in force. I
Yeah.
mean, I ride an EUC, so obviously I pushed this event to mostly EUC riders. But the one wheelers just showed up. There was two in a car. I was like, oh, okay. So we had as many of them as we did of EUC riders, just about, and it was really good. So.
But did you notice the one wheel contestants, the guys that showed up, had to show up in cars? Most UC riders would just ride there.
Booyah! Anyway,
Just saying.
Let's go. So, we have EC Vibes. What he's saying here? He said the Wheel Life Rally looks so sick. Sensei Vegan, You Stride, Showtime, Jeremy, just to name a few. Man, I can't wait to go to the next one. Yeah, bro. We were just making it happen there. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah,
Shouts out
awesome.
to Rick from the Wick, the owner of the Wick 338 dirt bike track in Southwick. He's amazing. That guy makes it happen, man. He's out there on the bulldozer, just making tracks for us. I love that guy. Love that guy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. Let's see. Yep, Vegan said, bro, it was off the charts. It was definitely. Splice says EUC Vibes us carpool to the next one. You guys do that. Oh, Jose said he's teaching somebody right now. All right, Jose, bring another one into the fold.
That's cool.
Once they get in, they never get out.
It's true. It's true. You know what? I haven't touched the one wheel since I haven't touched the XR since I started riding Sherman.
It's hard to go back. It really is.
No.
Even riding a Sherman, it's hard to go back to a small wheel. Like,
yeah,
the V12, the only reason it's easy for me to ride at a 16 inches because it rides like a bigger wheel because it's heavy and it's got a good sized casing. But outside of that, I wouldn't be able to ride it. Like my 16X, I just sold it, and I sold it because even though I love the wheel, every time I got on it, I was like, I can't ride this. It's too small. I could teach on it. That's it. But can't ride this. I need a bigger,
that's just it.
Wheel.
Yeah, it's like the S18. Someone handed me an S18 and they're like, "Hey, can I try your Sherman?" I'm like, "Sure." I got on the S18. I'm like, "No." I just put it over to the side. I'm like, here's your kitten back."
Yeah. Here's your kitten. Give me my lion.
Yeah. I'm gonna ride my Clydesdale. You can take your pony home.
There you go. Yep. So Splice says, "Hey, if you need me to design bars for the Orion, hit me up." He'll do it.
Done. Send me a message.
Yeah, you see that, Splice? Hit him up. I tell you right now, it's one of the weirdest things. Once you have it on there, like you don't realize how much you need it till you put it on. Showtime, who rides with me, she put one on. Splice sent us a one to put on the MSX, and she put it on. And when we did the indoor rally last year, she was flying around the track with that. And I was like, if she crashes, we can see how good it holds up. But she never crashed. But she was able to grab the bar and hold on. And I was like, it's just you don't realize how usable it is until you put something like that on your wheel.
Especially it's like the Sherman.
Yeah. I seen people grab that thing and yank it. I was like, woo, scares me, but I'm like, I guess it works,
Yeah, my buddy stalled out at an intersection because he yanked on it so hard, he yanked it back and fell right back.
Yeah, I'm worried about it. Every time I see someone do it, I'm like, dude, you can yank it too hard.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, you can stall it out. Yeah.
Leo says, I have completed the Chinese product in Africa, Mid East, and South America after sales. Quality and spare parts is not a high priority from them. Okay, so you've been touring around there and you realize that. Yeah. Look, Leo, we haven't toured around there and we realize that too. They are not They're not looking. Quality is not what they're looking for. That's not
No,
important to them.
no. You
Quantity.
can
Go ahead.
quantity and sales. That's what's important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'd rather pay for me. I'd rather pay $10,000 for a wheel. To be totally honest, 10,000, and have something that I'm going to be riding for the next 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to fall apart.
True. Yes. So Mickey again, he says, that's not waterproof. That's water resistant. This community needs to learn the difference. We
Yeah.
definitely know the difference, Mickey. That's why he said it's not submersible.
Yeah.
It can get wet. It can't get dunked. There is a difference.
Yeah, and you know what? A lot of people don't understand the IPX rating system and how it works. IPX 5, IPX 6, IPX 7. People just don't understand it, and a lot of people. I wish they just look it up. It's water resistant. IPX, 5, 6 is high pressure jets at all directions. Well, most. Well, I think one of the newer wheels, the Commander, I think. The owner of EVs in Vancouver just rode it in pouring rain, said it handled it like a champ. So I think they're just getting better on how they're sealing it.
Well, that was the
So
concern when they had those bearings that were not sealed properly inside, and the
yeah,
water it worked, bounces off the outside, but it's once the wheel got home and sat, the water that was inside the bearings then began to rust the bearings inside. So it was a proper
yeah,
seal on the bearings, which I think made the big difference as far as the IPX rating being real.
yep, absolutely. And you know what? I mean, sealing a bearing is not that complicated.
No. And I'm glad they finally figured that out because there was way too many incidents of that happening and people having, terrible time having to now replace their bearings because they weren't sealed in a good way.
Yeah,
Oh, so EC Vibes is saying that was his video, his late V12 video where he did a double front flip
that
into
was
the
right. I'm
lake.
like, you know what? I was like, go put it in, buddy. Go put it in.
Did you see the end when he did it? It was obviously video tricks, but he rode down and rode off the end of the pier and did a double flip into the water. And I'm like, yeah, okay. But it looked really cool. He did a great job editing it because, for a sec, I was like, no, he ain't. No, he ain't. And then, then he goes into this double flip. And I'm like, okay, yeah, movie
No, I
magic.
never saw it. I'll have to check that
Oh,
out.
yeah, you have to check it out on his channel. It's funny. He was saying thank you because he reached the 1,000 subscribers and he was the video was funny. It was very funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So okay, we need access to the motor, the cells, so we don't just get an average percentage, but individually are what cells are going bad without having to charge it fully and see what the voltage is. Yeah, that's what we were talking about, buddy. Trying to get that
Yeah,
individual cell accounting so we can really see what's going on in there.
yeah.
Um,
That could also be worked into the app too.
yep.
Yeah.
Coding the software is what will take the next year and a half. Okay. See, and that's what's going to take the longest to get your wheel out. Casting.
If I started it now,
Yeah, meaning he's already started. Casting spike pedals.
oh, dude, don't even get me started on casting spike pedals. The only way spike pedals should be made is CNC'd. Bottom line.
Yeah, yeah, because they're spiked and the waffle shape. They're a lot weaker, right?
Yeah, hexing them out like the waffle shape actually structurally are quite sturdy.
Mm-hmm.
It's when they cast them that they're having issues, right? And that's where they're saving their cost is just the cast.
Yeah.
Um, Someone approached me the other day or sent me a message and wanting a set, and I'm like, okay, well they're 298 US. Well, yeah, okay, well they're 300 US. If you want the cast ones, go spend $150 and go get a set from China. What do you want me to say? I'm not gonna pull punches. I'm just saying. You want quality, then spend the money. If you don't want quality, well, you know where to get them.
Okay, so um, Mickey's saying, I'm excited to see if the community decides to pony up and pay 6K and how long till China makes a cheaper replica fit half the price. Fingers crossed you succeed. Yeah,
6K is like Canadian, not American, by the way.
yeah. So it'll be 5K. It'll probably be around 5K US.
Yeah.
Um, so it's again, we realize that it ain't cheap. Um, those of us who are genuine enthusiasts, we realize that we may have to sell every wheel we own to get it, but it is what it is. You know,
Or just save for 2 years and buy the next gen or the first gen, or
yeah,
for me, saving up for something that I know is going to cost me like an iPhone. I mean, how many of us will spend or will drop $2,000 on an iPhone every single year? Well, we all do it.
yeah.
Well, most of us do it.
I got to go get the 13 now.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Like you're going to pony up if you want it one way or the other. If you want
Yeah,
to buy a
yeah.
cheaper knockoff version from China, sure. But good luck. And when you say, "Hey, I bought an Orion 2 and I got it from China, but I'm having motor issues. Can you send me some parts?" Yeah, they'll be on their way, all right.
Good luck, eh?
Yeah.
um, so, oh, okay. He's asking, sorry if I missed the answer. Had to take a call, but is the Orion suspension linear or progressive?
Um, so suspension is a double barrel Air IL shock with four-way independent adjustments within. And it has so high speed, low speed compression and rebound.
Okay. So it has a whole lot of good stuff.
Yes, the suspension alone is quite expensive.
Okay. So I believe that would qualify as a progressive
Yeah.
suspension as opposed to a linear because I believe the V11 has the linear suspension. So okay,
Uh, so the one we're using right now is actually a Cane Creek double barrel,
okay, all right. Now
and
will
I think they're about 500. I think just for the suspension itself is $500.
will that have will it be in the vein of the V11 where you would fill the air, or would it be in the vein of the S18 or S20 where you change the shock if you wanted to change up the suspension?
It's air.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So definitely air filled.
Yeah.
All right. So this is something
Much softer ride.
I'm really looking forward to that. Because the big tire itself is gonna absorb a whole lot of that,
Oh,
a whole lot of the bumps and potholes and things that we run across as it is, and then add to that a nice suspension that is able to be adjusted to what you like. Sounds amazing. Sounds amazing.
yeah.
Um,
And I think you actually showed a video of my partner Yar hitting a curb.
yeah, yeah. That first part
Yeah,
of his video,
full
he hit
on,
that
straight
curb
up.
and he just eats it like nothing, and he just
Yeah,
yeah, it looked like fun. I'm like, yep, I
yeah.
want to do that. So let's see here. I just so he said I got the CNC Begode waffles for my Sherman and haven't looked back. Can't wait to see how they perform in the snow. Yeah, those waffle pedals are crazy. I'm still I still have trouble though because I love the waffle pedal design with the spikes, but I also love what I did on my V11 where I took the grip tape off, put the spike plate on, and then put the grip tape over the top of the spike plate. So I have grip tape all over and I have the spikes. So because of those two things, that's also another reason why it helped me in the races because my feet never move. And I know that a lot of the hex cut pedals with the spikes on them are really good, but I still wish I had like a thin thing of grip tape over the top of them just to give you both.
I'm not going to give you any details, but there is a new pedal coming out
Yeah,
that anybody that jumps or races is going to want in their arsenal.
I'll take two.
And I guarantee you there isn't another one on the market like it, and it will change how, yeah, it's going to change racing and jumping. Yeah,
I'll forward you my address when we're done here.
yeah,
Yeah, enough said.
yeah.
So he also you got a lot of comments tonight, man. He must be typing away on his computer because he's had like 50 comments. Sherman is the biggest and best. Orion, hold my beer, eh? Okay.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I love my Sherman. I do. But you know, um, can you ride it in the winter? Can you ride it in like, a foot of snow? Probably not. Can you
Yeah.
ride it when there's black ice on the roads? Probably not. Can you ride the Orion? Oh yeah.
So he said the hero was the wheel they gave a shower. Yeah, but I believe AUC Vibes wet his as well. I think he was cleaning it off or something.
Yeah, you
Checking
know
it
what?
out.
They've done a good job on the putting the shells together and how it grooves together and stuff like that. Even the Sherman, yeah, I took my Sherman apart and I siliconed the whole inside of the link together. So anything I ride in, if it splashes up, it's not going to get anywhere near the control board or the batteries at
Right.
all. I even went as far as to silicone the hub and all the nuts and screws. So there's no water getting in there.
Yeah, I need to
But you
do
got to
that.
remember, but we ride like, in Canada, I mean, you get all all weather, like,
Yeah.
you know, from 40 below to, 45 degrees, and that's Celsius, by the way, not Fahrenheit. Um, and everything in between, from hail to, like downpours. So
Yeah.
we got to make sure it's protected.
I get it. I get it. So wait, I just missed what he was saying here. Oh, yeah, he said thanks for the answer on the suspension. That sounds amazing and can't wait, but have to save up for this beast of a wheel. Start now. Start now.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
go to the bank, start a new savings account, name it the Orion Fund. You heard it here. So when banks start asking, what's this Orion Fund?
Yeah.
EUC Vibe said, great video, guys. I'm sold. I hope to be one of your first customers. Great to put a face behind the wheel, and Kayden truly made me believe in the Orion. I can't wait. Very nice vibes. I like that.
Well, and you know what? Vibes, it wouldn't happen if it wasn't for my partner, Yarmir. And he's linked in a lot of my posts and videos as well. He's the brainchild behind it all. If it wasn't for him, this wheel wouldn't happen. Uh, wouldn't be where it's at right now, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
And
And yeah, I mean, there's
I will link all of their channels, both you and your partner.
yeah,
And I'll link both your Instagrams and the Hextech YouTube as well under the video when we're done here. So you guys can check out him, not just Kayden Steele, but his partner Yoromir also, because he's really engineered an amazing wheel, and Kayden's doing a hell of a job. And the business end, making sure that this gets done and gets out and gets advertised. But I appreciate you being here because this is what you guys needed, honestly. Getting the community to really see what is really going on behind this, because you see crazy stuff, but until you really hear the facts and information behind it, it's not real. And now,
yeah.
to me and to everyone else, this is real. So you've just made some good strides in the community. That's for sure.
Yeah, and a lot of people thought it was just a hobby wheel, and originally that's what it was. But I talking with Yar, and the numerous conversations between him and I, and the late nights of going back and forth, it was mutually decided that this needed to be a lot bigger than that, especially for our community, and bringing a quality product, at any price. You know, we sell 100 wheels a year, so be it. That's what it's all about. It's not about selling, five or six or 700 wheels a year. It's about selling, the quality product.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I see something that's I already got my answer, but what do you think about clip-in pedals for EUCs?
No comment.
I can tell you right now, bad idea. You want to be able to bail. I think the most clipped in you want to be on these wheels is with the spike pedals. As it is, I have people tell me I can't ride with spike pedals because I can't move my feet already. Never mind clipping them in.
Yeah.
I
Um,
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
I think that would be a recipe for a disaster. What do you think?
Yes and no. Clip in? No. But I am working on a different system that we can incorporate into our pedals, to make life a whole lot easier for jumping and climbing.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely more things that we can do on these wheels, and my mind just went somewhere I'm not going to go into because I have a feeling I know what you're getting at and where your design went. But I can tell you that I am happy with what I have now on the V11, and I also liked the CNC B Gold pedal that I had on my Monster Pro. I just put the cast version of it on my Sherman, and I'm afraid. I'm afraid it's gonna break. But
Yeah,
luckily with my Sherman, I don't do a lot of because when they sent the CNC version, they also sent along it was coming with the cast version, but I bought the CNC version. I was like, nah, I want the CNC, so that's what
yeah,
I put on it. But when I crashed, the CNC pedals went back to China with my wheel. So
yeah,
only thing I was left with was the cast ones that I had. So I just threw those on the Sherman after painting the bars there. So now I have to, ride it. But at any rate, my point was I enjoyed riding the Monster Pro with those spike pedals, but I still feel like the best combination so far has been having grip tape and spikes. And that's so far what I like the most. So I look forward to what you have coming out. Definitely, because I off road is my favorite place to ride. Doesn't have to be extreme off road, but I like off road.
yeah,
I'd like to do more jumps, but I don't really have a wheel because the V11 is not really durable enough for big jumps. The V12 either it'll do some jumps, but it's not. The RS probably has the most durability, and the EXN I'm thinking might be really durable for jumps as well. But better pedals and a wheel suited to it, and I'll do more jumps. But more pedals that'll help me off road are what I want. So
yeah.
continue that.
Absolutely. Um, yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll send you a little clip of something we got going on here before
Okay.
Christmas.
Definitely. Yeah, send me whatever. I'll definitely post up whatever you send and share. And cuz the more we get, the more information we get, the better off, and sharing is caring.
That's right. Well, what did that say?
It said I like the waffle part because if you've ever ridden in snow, the moment snow
Yeah,
gets on your pedal, it impacts and becomes an icy lump on your pedal and no way to get it off. Yeah.
yeah,
So that
packs right in.
yeah, so that's why I mean having the waffle is good. You can push that stuff right through. Um,
Yeah,
but even if I could get, like I said, if I could get grip tape down, the waffle design grip tape. I don't know. I like the feel of grip tape and the spikes. But I
yeah.
do get it.
Who's that from, by the way? That,
That
that that just said that?
that was from the same guy who's been it's all night. MEUC on my EUC.
So I will tell you, someone did this to their pedals. So what they did was they they taped off the hex the spaces in their pedals.
Hmm.
Then they took lacquer and they lacquered around the edges where the spikes weren't. Then they sprinkled sand on the lacquer, and then so they had the spikes and the grip with the
Yes.
lacquer and the sand.
Yes. That's it right there. I want to
That's
do
how we do
that.
it. That's how we do it in Canada, boys.
I want that. That's the yes. Wow, that's a good idea. So Spartacus asked, will you make pedals able to fit on a Sherman and other wheels?
You talking to me?
Yeah, that's for you.
Yeah, we make pedals. We make pedals that fit the Sherman and every
It's
other wheel out there.
it's called Hextech. That's their company. That's what they do.
Hit me up on Instagram and we'll chat more.
Yeah, that's that. Their company's all about that. um, yeah. So
Keeping in mind, we are having issues with production right now.
okay,
So I am working on moving all of that production here to Canada, so I can, have them shipped out like the same week someone orders them. I did have a recent customer not so happy with us, but with all of the shipping issues, and I don't think a lot of people understand, the shipping issues that are going on right now. When they want something, they want it, and unfortunately, with the way the backups have caused all of the ports and all of the shipping containers and all that stuff, getting stuff anywhere is a pain right now. So I am working on having that all done right here in Canada.
gotcha. Okay.
But we can definitely work something out.
Yeah, because I definitely, I mean, I've wanted a set of your pedals for a long time, so I definitely want to, work something out because I haven't tried yours yet. I've just heard a lot about them, so, and I have like several pedals here to put on, and that's why I put those on the Sherman now because I'm like, okay, now let me try these. Now let me try these, and I definitely want yours for comparison's sake, and to give my review on them, of course. So look forward to that in the future, people. Uh, um, so Mike Houdsworth, yes, said excited to see EUC builds coming to the West. Yes, definitely seeing things come out of China is definitely something that we need more of.
Yeah, agreed.
So,
It, it,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
It's like the one wheel, the XR and the Pint. They're all manufactured in China, and then everything is shipped to California and then assembled in California. That's how they can call it American made.
Mm-hmm. Which is not accurate, I would say.
No, no. Maybe
uh,
maybe built in America, but it ain't made in America.
yeah, yeah. Um, so, oh, and it's pronounced. He's correcting my pronunciation of his name. Me That's how it's pronounced. Me
Me, you see.
on my EUC. I get it.
Nice.
Me on my E. Got it.
I like it. I like it.
uh, um.
Yeah. Me, you see, you see. Hit me up on Instagram, and we'll talk.
Oh, now that pedal lacquer job sounds cool. It does, right? I want to do it.
Yeah,
I definitely want to do that.
it works really well.
Yeah, E. Simon says that's genius.
Yeah.
I agree, man. I agree. Look at that. We struck gold. We struck gold talking to Kayden tonight.
I gotta patent that right now. Actually, I gotta call my lawyer.
You better. You better. So, MeUC said, yeah, shipping boats are having to remain offshore for weeks, and it's thousands of
Yeah.
dollars more per container for some companies, not to mention the battery and semiconductor shortages a perfect storm. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
And a
crazy.
lot of people are not understanding that when they're contacting or they're sending me messages they're like, why is this taking so long? I'm like, where are you living right now?
Yeah,
Look up, port delays or shipping
yeah,
delays and, like months. And, I know recently I heard of, a 2-year backlog of just getting stuff off ships.
crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So you are in, well, your products, all your pedals, they're coming out of Europe right now, right?
Coming out of Europe right now. I am literally, last week and this week working on getting production done right here in Canada.
Okay. Um, because I was gonna say Canada, you're close enough. I'll just come there and get them from you.
Yeah, exactly. You're in Massachusetts, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You ride a Sherman. That's like 2 or 3 charges.
Exactly. Exactly. And I got a modified supercharger from Panda in Boston, so I'm like, I'm good to go, man.
I've heard about those modified chargers. They're pretty insane.
Yeah, they are. And I actually
Yeah.
do not really know how to use it correctly. So
Yeah.
I told Panda, I said, hey, when I'm ready to use it, I will be contacting you again for those repeat of the instructions you gave me. But yeah, it's adjustable. It's like, it's crazy. The thing,
Yeah, don't you have to like put your arm up in one direction and then like plug it in on like a 45-degree angle or something?
it's like
Like
those
to
old
get like
aluminum antennas that you used to put on your TV to
yeah,
get the
yeah.
channels in. Actually, hang on. Let me.
Yeah.
Um,
You're looking for a clothes hanger right now, aren't you?
this thing is
Yeah.
amazing, and
Yeah,
and
I've heard of them.
even the cable, just the
Yeah.
cable alone, I was like, what the hell is that? He's like, yeah, man, this is real.
Now, did he make that?
um, he engineered it, and I don't know if he made it alone. I think it was him and someone else went together and created it. I forget. I forget how it went, but he was definitely part of the engineering team behind coming up with it, I believe. And then he ordered a bunch of them for us. So
But that looks like a quality product,
it
though.
is. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And I'm like, I haven't had any reason to use it yet. I want to go on a nice long trip so that I have to use it,
Yeah.
especially because I mean the combination of the Sherman with the seat from Zoom Wheels Brian, that I got that, I mean, between the I could just ride forever. It's just
Yeah.
crazy. And now I just was notified today by Panda that my replacement Monster Pro is finally here. I crashed in May and the wheel
Oh, wow.
just arrived. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, and it arrived him. So Panda's gonna help me out and check it out and make sure it's in great working order, because obviously my last foray into the idea of a Monster Pro didn't go so well. So he's gonna make sure that everything looks on the up and up. I got the new control board, the black board, a new motor too. So hopefully, um, they did it justice and really made it right.
Yeah.
Because yeah, it seems like they made a new wheel and used the old circuit board. They didn't upgrade the board to match the wheel, and that's one of those things that if they were a U.S. company, obviously I would have sued the hell out of them. But it's a Chinese based
Yeah.
company, not going to even make. It's not even worth the effort, really. But the idea is that an American company, we know, don't do that. You know what's going to happen if you do that.
Yeah.
We're going to come after you if you take a brand new product with all these new specs and put an old board in it. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, that's neither here nor there. I digress. So, so E. Simon, thanks a lot for the super chat, buddy. I appreciate you. Thank you. So, Kayden, is there anything else
Yeah.
you wanna add to this information that we have filtered out to the many people that were interested in this wheel? Anything else you want to add?
Uh, I don't think anybody really touched on speed. I know we talked a little bit
Yeah.
about it pre-show.
Yes.
But for reference, speed is not something that we're focused on. We're focused on the quality of the wheel, and obviously like more of the torque side of things, because that's going to stop a lot of the crashing too, right? Is the torque and overpowering the motor and stuff like that. So somewhere between 70 and 80, 85K is ample. And
85K
then
works.
yeah,
85K
and that's
works.
more than enough,
Yeah.
right? If you're racing, again, you talk about suing someone. Well, we make it a 100 km/h wheel, with all the power in the world, and someone goes off, and this wheel jets off in like a rocket and hits someone else. Well, whose fault is it,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
you
That's
know,
that's one of those things that's different. You know what I mean? It's like if you're riding like a jackass and you're doing things that are obviously wasn't, that didn't make any sense, that's your
yeah,
fault. You know,
yeah,
you're doing crazy wild stunts when there's a bunch of people around or in traffic, you're doing all kinds of, well, that's your fault. That has nothing to do
yeah.
with the wheel manufacturer,
Yeah,
you
you're
know?
doing 90K in a 40 zone or something, like, something's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
So we don't want to really focus on top end speed. We don't want to beat anybody else in top speed, because that's not what it's all about. Quality versus quantity, right? So we're going to focus more on the quality of the wheel and the torque.
Sounds good. It sounds exactly like what we need. Oh, Omidel, what's up, man? What's going on? You caught the tail end, buddy. All right, so I appreciate everything you've done here, Kayden. Thank you for coming on and talking to us.
Oh,
Um,
my pleasure.
and I'm really excited about number one, what you're doing. Number two, I'm excited about the fact that you got tonight to get the information out to all the people who were interested in knowing. And some people who weren't even asking questions, but they got some answers tonight that have piqued their interest, I am sure. And we are anxiously awaiting what you guys come up with and how you put it together and how you put it out. I know that you're only going to make limited wheels, so I know that this is not a wheel that everybody and their mother is going to have. I know that it's not
Nope.
a wheel that everybody and their mother can afford, but I know it's going to be a quality wheel. And one of the
Yeah.
things that excites me about this is knowing that a product is going to be made the way it should be made. And so we appreciate you. My hat's off to you, like I said. I thank you again, and uh, it's just amazing. So, and I will be reaching out to you again because, like I said, I need some pedals.
Yeah. You know what? It's a pleasure being a part of the Black Panther show.
Cobra,
I've been waiting for
Cobra.
this. Oh, sorry, Cobra, Black Cobra show. I was super excited for it. So
Yeah.
happy to be here.
Well, I'm glad you came. Like I said, and you did one of the things that many other people have not done because, like you said, with Marty, he didn't get back to you, and you're like, wow. Well, I've done the same thing. I only reach out to people who I believe are either influential or have information that I believe other people want to know, or have great personalities, and I believe their personalities alone add to our community. I try to bring those kind of people to the show, and a lot of people that I reach out to don't answer. So sometimes it's very frustrating because all I want to do is bring light to what we're doing. So I'm hoping that more people see this and more people see you on the show and realize that, if someone reaches out to you, answer back because you never know what could happen. It could be what you were looking for as far as a connection and a platform to put out more information. And any way we can get together is a positive thing. And this is definitely a positive thing.
Yeah,
Communication.
absolutely.
There's still there's
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. You know what? If it wasn't for my partner, designing this thing, it wouldn't be out there. And him and I coming together to bring you guys this is, I mean, it's a dream come true for me, right? I mean, I've been interested in this stuff in self balancing since '99 when I first saw the first Segway, you know, the first talk of that thing come out. So Yeah, I'm super, super excited about this.
Yeah, that's great. And before we go, me you see on my EUC with the super chat. Thanks a lot, buddy. And he said donating part of my Orion fund to spread the love. Cheers, Cobra, for another engaging episode.
Hey, do I? I get 10% of all of this, right?
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
Listen, you guys have been amazing in the chat tonight. You guys have come up with some great questions, allowed Kayden to share the answers that he was hoping to be able to get out, and allowing me to get some of the information that I was looking for as well. So thank you once again, Kayden. You have a fantastic night.
You as
Everybody out there in
well.
the chat, you guys keep coming back. Make sure you like the video, make sure you share the video, and keep coming back. We'll have more for you soon. Until next time, it's your boy Black Cobra. Remember, ride hard and keep it real. Deuces. We'll see you in the next one.